Ever since the emergence of digital media and film industry, there have been major players that dominate the market. These major players have flourished by creating and exploiting specific franchises. They have used numerous unique strategies that allow them to be successful in targeting these franchises. They create art that influences participatory cultures, chronologically exploits mediums of media, and take advantage of media convergence. According to Marsha Kinder, this has allowed for them to become entertainment supersystems. A great example of such a supersystem is the creation of the popular franchise Star Wars. Henry Jenkins, the author of Quentin Tarantino's Star Wars, Digital Cinema, Media Convergence, and Participatory Culture, explains how Star Wars became a catalyst within the market. Star Wars fan films represent the intersection of two significant cultural trends: the corporate movement towards media convergence and the unleashing of significant new tools which enables the grassroots archiving, annotation, appropriation, and recirculation of media content. Star Wars is in many ways a prime example of media convergence at work. The creation of the Star Wars franchise caused new strategies of content development to emerge, which was designed to increase the synergy between the different divisions of the same company. For example, Star Wars has taken the form of comic books, films, novels, toys, etc. The film proved to be a content that could move fluidly across media channels. This has to do with technological convergence. Technological convergence opens up entry points into the consumption process and enables consumers to locate new manifestations of a popular narrative, thus increasing consumption through new markets. One may be able to move from watching a television drama to ordering the soundtrack, purchasing videos, or buying products that have been effectively placed within the narrative universe. Consumers are then motivated to do this because convergence causes them to bind to a prolonged relationship with a particular narrative universe, which is rich enough and complex enough to sustain their interests over time and thus motivate a succession of consumer choices. Star Wars itself is unique because the rich narrative universe of the Star Wars saga provide countless images, icons, and artifacts that could be reproduced in a wide variety of forms and sold to diverse groups of consumers. The serialized structures of the films help to sustain audience interest across a broad span of time and provide an opportunity to revitalize it as each new sequel or prequel is released. So basically, this convergence enables multiple points of entry into different markets. The ability to converge came from the distinctive characters, striking icons, and high quotable lines that gained public consent. This ability allowed for franchise systems to actively encourage viewers to pursue their interest in media content across various transmission channels and to be alert to the potential for new experiences offered by these various tie-ins. Star Wars, as a fan film, builds on long-standing practices of the fan community, thus influencing a participatory culture through media convergence. The flow of media across various markets and the continuation of sales over the years would not be possible without a participatory culture. The idea of a participatory culture involves a psychoanalysis of previous methods and current technology innovations. As Laura Mulvey explains, influencing a participatory culture attempts to challenge cinema of the past. Patterns of media consumption have been profoundly altered by a succession of new media technologies, which enable average citizens to participate in archiving, annotation, appropriation, transformation, and recirculation of the media content. Walter Benjamin explains how art and mechanical reproduction influence fans to participate. He expresses how technology advances in photography and film changes the reaction of the masses towards forms of art. New technologies such as cameras, video recorders, audio players, etc. have encouraged people to encounter franchises in different ways. A current example would be the combination of Star Wars characters with navigational systems. Fans can pick the voice of their favorite Star Wars characters to guide them while they drive. This involves the audience performing quote-unquote work as a commodity. Successful franchises such as Star Wars have taken advantage of the idea of audiences as a commodity. Thinking of an audience as a commodity is believing that audiences work and contribute to productions in various senses. A successful franchise would exploit this idea and focus on the different economic aspects associated with the audience. Dallas Smith explains that they do this by acting as businessmen using strategies such as advertising. These advertisers buy the services of audiences with predictable specifications, which will pay attention to particular numbers and at particular times to particular means of communication in a particular market. Star Wars has used this technique while creating limited edition action figures for children markets that are quote-unquote only available for a limited time after release of a movie, or when they produce original novels, comic books, and audio tapes during a decade gap between films to target specific fans. All methods encourage participation from fans, which in turn influences further innovation for economic gains. It is clear that these successful supersystems influence participatory cultures through strategic planning and media convergence. They create a synergy between all forms of media that can possibly apply to their story. Methods include converging films to video games to encourage us to see ourselves as active participants in the world of fiction, to either fight like a Jedi or to outshoot Clint Eastwood. Some strategies include exploiting specific mediums at precise times for increased consumption. For instance, the technology to create the Star Wars navigational system has existed for years, but companies decide to strategically advertise this item close to the release of Star Wars' new upcoming film with the anticipation of increased participation. Franchises that take advantage of various mediums, participatory cultures, and media convergence are likely to become entertainment supersystems.